When I inherited my grandfather's ranch, I knew it came with history, legacy, and responsibility. What I didn't expect was trouble from a group of entitled neighbors. My ranch had stood for over 150 years, stretching across acres of green, hills, and a creek that supplied water to the surrounding developments. It was my family's pride and my escape from the noise of the city. But the local HOA saw it differently. Barely a week after moving in, I was greeted by 3 people in polo shirts with clipboards. They didn't introduce themselves as neighbors, but as representatives of the community HOA. With smug smiles, they said my ranch was an eyesore and that it ruined the uniform aesthetic of their neighborhood. Then came the kicker: they demanded I sell it to the HOA so they could expand their community park. I laughed at first, thinking it was a bad joke. But they weren't joking. They slapped down papers, claiming they'd appraised my land generously at half its real value. When I refused, they threatened me with fines for not complying with their rules. That's when I had to break it to them. I wasn't and never had been a part of their HOA. My ranch predated their subdivision by more than a century. But here's where things got interesting. My grandfather, a shrewd man, had quietly bought up parcels of land around the neighborhood decades ago. And when I inherited the ranch, I inherited every deed. So while these HOA board members thought they were flexing power over me, they didn't. Realize I literally owned the land their cookie-cutter houses sat on? There were tenants on ground I leased out. I let them stew for a while, watching as they sent me nasty letters and empty threats. Then one afternoon I invited them to a meeting. At the ranch, they strutted in, ready to bully me again. That's when I laid the deeds on the table. One by one, I showed them the plots of land every street, every cul-de-sac, even their fancy clubhouse signed over to me. The color drained from their faces as they realized they weren't in control. I was. They left in silence that day, their arrogance shattered. Soon after, the HOA's tone changed drastically. No more demands, no more threats, just polite requests and nervous smiles when they passed me on the road. My ranch still stands proudly, untouched, and every time I see those board members mowing their lawns, I can't help but smile. Knowing they tried to buy me out without realizing I already owned them? Asterisk for more interesting and heart-touching stories. Hit the subscribe button now